Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We have more gaming and PlayStation news, rumours and leaks to go over. If you enjoyed today's video, please show your support by hitting that like button. So Insomniac Games' next 5 years could be huge for Marvel game fans. If you've been following PlayStation's exclusive lineup, you'll probably already know that Insomniac Games has been one of Sony's most valuable studios over the last few years. They hit major success with their Spider-Man series, especially Marvel's Spider-Man 2018 and Spider-Man 2 in 2023. Now, new rumours suggest that Insomniac Games is gearing up for a busy few years with several big Marvel-related projects in the pipeline. A recent rumour, first shared by a YouTuber who goes by the name of The Mag Show, and then later picked up by Comic Book, claims that Insomniac Games has a long list of major games planned between now and the end of the decade. So within the next 5 years, some pretty big games coming out from Insomniac Games. According to the report, the studio's release schedule may look something like this: a Venom game coming out targeting 2026 release, Wolverine expected in 2027, Spider-Man 3 aiming for 2029, and there's also a couple of other games being worked in the background like Ratchet and Clank. Now, these titles have not been officially confirmed with dates, and the source itself recommends taking the information with a pinch of salt. Still, the idea that we could be seeing 3 major Marvel games from one studio within the next few years has got a lot of fans talking. And let's start with the Venom game, the character who took on a major role in Spider-Man 2. Fans have been speculating for a while now that he might get his own standalone game, similar to how Miles Morales got a spin-off in 2020. Now, if this rumor holds true, a 2026 release for a full Venom game would line up well with the studio's development timeline and give fans more of the darker, more intense side of Marvel's universe. Nothing has been officially shown yet, but considering how central Venom was to Spider-Man 2's story, a spin-off game sounds pretty plausible. It could give players a chance to explore the symbiote's origins more deeply, or even experience gameplay with a very different tone and style compared to Peter and Miles' usual adventures. Now, Wolverine was actually announced back in 2021 during a PlayStation showcase, and since then we haven't seen much. No gameplay trailers, no release window, and not even a new screenshot. That silence was broken a little during the Insomniac Games data leak that happened recently, which unfortunately revealed some very early, unfinished footage from Wolverine. While it wasn't meant to be seen by the public at that stage, the footage gave fans a glimpse of what Insomniac might be working on behind the scenes. We also saw a leaked internal roadmap which suggested Wolverine was originally set to launch in 2026, but based on this new rumor, it seems like the schedule may have shifted, pushing the game to 2027. That kind of delay wouldn't be surprising. Game development takes time, especially for big AAA games like this, and if Insomniac wants to meet the high expectations set by their Spider-Man games, a bit more time in the oven might be just what's needed. And let's not forget, following the data breach, Insomniac may have wanted to change elements of the story or gameplay which got released during the incident, which could have resulted also in the game being pushed back to 2027. Now, last on the list is Spider-Man 3, and it's apparently being lined up for a 2029 release. That's several years out, and by then we will definitely be playing on the PlayStation 6 console. And if that is the case, it could mean Insomniac is already thinking about how to take the Spider-Man series to the next level using next generation technology. While there's obviously no official confirmation yet, it would make sense to expect longer development times between each game as the stakes get higher and the games get more complex. So how does this line up with the leaked roadmap? Back when the Insomniac data breach happened, the internal roadmap that got leaked painted a slightly different timeline. According to the timeline back then, Venom was supposed to come out in 2025, Wolverine 2026, and Spider-Man in 2028. There was also talk of a new Ratchet and Clank game in 2029, followed by an X-Men project sometime in 2030. But with no new updates shown at the recent PlayStation events, especially no mention of Venom or Wolverine, it looks like some of those plans have been pushed right back. A 1-year delay across the board with all those Insomniac Games projects would line up pretty well with this new rumor. And let's be honest, after the recent success of Spider-Man 2, it makes sense that Insomniac would want to take their time and avoid rushing out their next big game. What does this mean for fans then? If some of this is true, then the next 5 or 6 years could be huge for Insomniac Games and Marvel fans alike. Imagine getting a major Marvel superhero game nearly every other year. A Venom game in 2026, followed by Wolverine in 2027, and then the Spider-Man game in 2029. And perhaps we could see maybe a Ratchet and Clank game in 2028. That means a brand new Insomniac game released every single year from 2026 right through to 2029. And who knows, 2030, maybe 2031, a brand new X-Men game. Of course, delays are always possible and none of this is officially confirmed, but Insomniac has built a reputation for delivering very high quality, story-driven superhero games, and that gives these rumors a little more weight. And we already know that they're working on many of these games. It's just a case of making sure the release dates are sensible. What do you think, guys? Are you excited to see more from Venom, Wolverine, or Spider-Man? Do you think these release dates sound realistic, or are they just wishful thinking? Let me know what you think down in the comments, and let's move on. Sucker Punch Productions, the studio behind Ghosts of Tsushima, last week revealed around 20 minutes of gameplay of their new upcoming AAA game. And let's just say, if for whatever reason this game wasn't on your radar, my goodness me, it certainly is now. During Sony's recent State of Play showcase, two of the game's key developers, Jason Cornell and Nate Fox, shared insights into what players can expect from this upcoming open-world samurai adventure. One of the biggest takeaways is that Ghosts of Yotei is not a game that's going to push or rush you along a linear path. In fact, Cornell and Fox emphasized that this new game gives players more freedom than anything Sucker Punch has ever done before. The focus is on giving players the space to explore, discover, and progress at their own pace. Whether that means diving into combat or simply taking in these stunning natural environments, that's down to the player. Cornell goes on to say that we think the best way to play is to simply pull out your spyglass, find something interesting on the horizon, and enjoy the ride. This approach to exploration means that rather than relying on map markers or forced quests, players are encouraged to follow their curiosity. The spyglass is just one tool that helps make exploration feel organic and rewarding. Set in the year 1603, Ghosts of Yotei takes place over 3 centuries after Ghosts of Tsushima. The game is set in the rugged and snowy Mount Yotei region of Ezo, where players take on the role of Atsu, a wandering ronin. Her story is driven by revenge as she seeks justice for the murder of her family by a group known as the Yotei Six. Atsu adopts the guise of an onryo, a vengeful spirit from the Japanese folklore, to strike fear into her enemies and carry out her quest for vengeance. Throughout the game, players will get a chance to explore Atsu's past through flashback sequences, and these moments give players a deeper look into her life before tragedy struck, adding emotional depth to the journey and giving context to the motivations behind her actions. These narrative beats are woven into the gameplay rather than interrupting it, helping players stay immersed in the experience. And another interesting feature in Ghosts of Yotei is how it handles progression and upgrades. In many open worlds, managing gear, resources, and character upgrades can sometimes feel like a chore, especially when you constantly have to return to a hub or a base to improve your gear. Now, Ghosts of Yotei takes a more player-friendly approach. As you explore the world, you'll encounter campsites where members of your wolf pack, who are a group of allies who support Atsu on her journey, will occasionally stop in. And these allies offer upgrades, special items, and other helpful tools so you can improve your equipment without having to break your exploration flow. It's a smart way to keep you engaged with the open world without pulling you away from the adventure. Visually, the game is absolutely stunning and incredibly impressive. Sucker Punch showed off about 20 minutes of gameplay during the State of Play broadcast, giving fans a detailed look at the game's rich, detailed open world. From the snowy mountains to dense forests, the environments are not just backdrops, they're part of the experience. Combat is also looking pretty sharp, with fluid swordplay and some intense, visceral encounters. It's clear that the team has carried over the refined combat mechanics from Ghosts of Tsushima, while also pushing things even further. And one of the most exciting bits of news is that Ghosts of Yotei features the largest map ever created by Sucker Punch. That's no small claim, considering Ghosts of Yotei already had a pretty expansive world. This new map is designed to support the game's exploration-first philosophy, giving players the space and the freedom to tackle objectives however and whenever they want. To mark the release of the game, which is set for October the 2nd, Sony will also be launching a series of themed hardware and accessories. These include special gold and black editions of the PlayStation 5, along with matching DualSense controllers, perfect for fans who want to immerse themselves in the game's world. What a brilliant demo of the game. Really excited to be diving into this later this year. There are quite a few different weapons also to choose from, and we got to take a little look at that during the gameplay. But overall, I have to say I'm really impressed with what I've seen, and I just cannot wait to play this now. Guys, let me know your thoughts on the Yotei State of Play. How are you feeling about the way the game lets us pick up and choose the way to explore the world. Are you interested in that? Does that excite you? The mechanic sounds quite intuitive, and I like the idea of if you see something that looks interesting, just go and explore it. Certainly keen to see how this works in the game, but guys, let me know your thoughts and let's move on. According to new reports, a modern reimagining of Halo Combat Evolved is in the works, but with a bit of a twist. Instead of a full package that includes both campaign and multiplayer, this remake is rumored to focus solely on the single player story. So if you are hoping to relive the early days of Halo multiplayer chaos, this project might not be what you were expecting. But if you're a fan of the original campaign, the story of Master Chief, Cortana, and the fight against the Covenant, there's something to be excited about. Now these reports come from YouTuber Rebs Gaming, who's built a bit of a reputation for digging into industry leaks. According to Rebs, the project currently known as Project Foundry has been quietly in development since 2023. And what's more, the visuals and the gameplay systems are reportedly being built using Unreal Engine 5, which means we can likely expect a huge leap forward in graphical quality and immersion compared to the original game. The remake is very likely not going to be an Xbox exclusive. Based on multiple sources and back-end listings, there's a strong chance that the Halo Combat Evolved remake will also launch on PlayStation and PC day and date. So a Halo game playable on PlayStation 5, man, this would have been unthinkable years ago. But with Microsoft slowly migrating into a full third-party publisher, it does make sense, and this is where we are right now in 2025. In fact, a back-end listing on the PlayStation Network recently hinted at Halo's arrival on PlayStation 5, something fans quickly connected to this rumored remake. Even Xbox boss Phil Spencer has teased the return of a legendary franchise in 2026, which lines up perfectly with Halo Combat Evolved's 25th anniversary. All signs are pointing towards a campaign-only remake dropping just in time to celebrate that 25th year milestone. And now let's talk about another former Xbox exclusive game which did really well on PlayStation. When Forza Horizon 5 launched back in 2021, it was an Xbox and PC exclusive and one of the best open-world racing games. But fast forward to today, and the game is now available on PlayStation 5, where it's made a huge impact. Within its first month on PlayStation, Forza Horizon 5 sold 2 million copies. That number comes straight from a former developer at Turn 10 Studios, Harrison Bolin, who noted the milestone in his professional resume. That's a big deal for a few reasons. Firstly, it shows just how much demand there is on PlayStation for good, high-quality arcade racing games. Now, Sony hasn't really filled the arcade-style races in recent years. The MotorStorm series had been long gone. Gran Turismo is more simulation-focused, and EA's Need for Speed has taken a step back. So when Forza Horizon 5 finally hit the platform, players jumped in at the chance to experience it, and there's an opportunity in this space right now which Forza Horizon 5 seems to be capitalizing on. Despite the original release 4 years ago, the game still holds up impressively well thanks to its massive open world, fun gameplay, and regular content updates. Its success on PlayStation 5 also shows that Xbox games can perform extremely well when brought over to other platforms if it's done in the right way. And looking ahead, Microsoft has already confirmed a new Forza title is on the way in 2026, and with recent reports suggesting that Playground Games, the team behind Forza Horizon, is taking the lead, it's highly likely that Forza Horizon 6 is on the horizon for PlayStation 5. Given the success of Horizon 5 on PlayStation, don't be surprised if Horizon 6 launches on PS5 day and date alongside the Xbox and the PC version. Bringing Halo and Forza and Gears to PlayStation would have been unheard of 5 or 10 years ago. But hey, we're in 2025 and things have changed. Given the amount of money Microsoft has spent on studio acquisitions, and we know the struggles of selling games on the Xbox platform and the failing hardware sales of Xbox, it seems like a smart way to recoup some return on the investment Microsoft has spent in studio acquisitions. Right guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below about the content discussed today, and I'll catch you on the next video.